See when this actually plays.
Just ignore myself.
There we go.
Okay.
So I'm at least gonna go to Richmond, at least like short pump area, and hope my short pump area. I'll decide whether I'm gonna go forward or not.
Cools. Okay. With a starry night and a broken moon above, all is obscured for an I always have a hard time pronouncing your character's name.
Row?
Row. There's like X's in there.
It's French.
That explains everything.
World.
But for Row, the standard moon and starscape that I just described is a cloudless darkness. For what you can see of it, of the vertical rising land, urban scape of Cardinal. Yet this pure darkness above isn't obfuscating any light. It's as if starlight and the normal urban pollution is illuminating everything just the same. Enough for you in the street that you're walking down to notice some oddities, many oddities. Trees, as a matter of fact, ink-like trees in the city, spreading as if it were mold versus normal trees. It would even give the growth of bamboo a run for its money. A wind of an indeterminate temperature breezes through the city. Neither cold nor hot, but sensations just the same. With it, to at least your ears, there are whispers that come along with it, just beyond your ability to actually understand. Your keen senses of perception notice things, movement, flittering from inky tree to inky tree. But try as you might, all you can tell with your focus and narrowing your eyes is that these entities are not much more than 3.5 feet tall. What buildings around you stand short and tall, and these shadowy flickers move across them as well. Though, at least the buildings do have some light visible from their windows. Down the street as you move, a seemingly resistant sign as a tree of darkness has tried to budget by all appearances, but hasn't. Reads 0211 Aqua Lane. Really, the only thing legible here that you've seen so far. Though, as you move through the urban scape of Cardinal, turning from corner to corner, street to street, far more interested in catching what is eluding any details of your sight. What the street turns, at least in front of you, to a tangle of brambles, very high, more like a wall of dark plant life, beyond which you can see a glow, a light that doesn't match any other light that you've seen before. Doesn't flicker like flame from what you can see. Doesn't doesn't have the constant ambience of the powered lights like street lights or lights in buildings. Though as it streams, you believe you see something else through the gaps in the brambles. Nikos, am I pronouncing that right?
Indeed.
Yes. For you, also in the streets of Cardinal, it feels like rain, though you see no signs of it. No puddles. No specks of water, though the feeling is still there. Around you are buildings enshadowed by cloudless darkness. As darkness shifting as if there were a source of flame that instead of casting light, it would consume it, doing the opposite. Trees abound, as if growing from a obsidian ink. The streets, sides of buildings. No logic appears to be governing these tree-like growths. Displaced cars litter the street where you are, though you do sense something just around the corner. As you move forward to investigate, your weapon occasionally comes out defensively, slashing as your combat training kicks in from these branches that seem to just appear here and there. The same kind of obsidian coloring as the trees. As you continue, an uncomfortable stillness fills the air. You can hear whispers from the darkness. That it sounds like whispers bemoaning something, but you can't make out the words, though. From the patterns, you can tell it's a language that you're fairly certain you could understand if you could just get more clarity. Glancing around, you notice some light streaming from around a corner, mostly blocked by second and fifth floor buildings. This streaming light having its dimness grow, the light tapering as it illuminates around the corner. Moving to investigate yourself, you only hear the echoes of your footfalls. Versus the buzzing of lights or other ambient noises that would normally be in a city such as this. Rounding the corner, you pass what appears to be an untouched inn or tavern of some kind, only paying it partial notice due to its stark difference from the rest of the tree-covered urbanscape. Though the lack of lighting obscures much of it. You catch the beginning of the sign. Looks like it starts with den, but you continue rounding the corner, not paying it much mind. Rounding this corner, a bramble of inky darkness confronts you. A large wall of essentially dark plants. Some form of immense light is beyond it. The plants seem to shift and move around it in a rather suppressive manner. Armoros. If you can hear me. Cool. You find yourself alone in the city. Keegan nowhere near you, as Keegan usually is, though not here. Trees of obsidian darkness are strewn throughout this section of the city that you're in. As you walk and observe, the trees shift. And you can feel a pressure around you. Whispers in this desolate stillness. Though to you it sounds like there's a shriekingness to it. Something offensive or agitated. From the darkness, you notice these tiny, like decrepit, not so much decayed, but weathered hands reaching out from the darkness. As you approach, these hands don't appear to get any closer and further from you, even though you're fairly certain that you're covering some distance. As you continue to move to investigate, the darkness around objects as you approach appear to, at first you believe, get brighter, but it's more like the darkness itself is somewhat receding, though not completely, as you near things like cars or lampposts, buildings themselves. Running several streets as you pass perpendicularly through 02 111 Aqua Lane. You note that this particular street designation is, well, seemingly untouched by the darkness even before your approach. Though down the way a glint catches your eye. From your periphery, you can figure from the kind of light it's casting, it's a silver white flame. Though as you round ability to get a better look at the source of light, you are then confronted by a tangle of dark, inky plants. Though they're not moving to envelop you, it appears to be surrounding a light. Though the dark plant matter does shrivel slightly as if it was being torched, though not vaporized. As you get near it, the light beyond these plants, you can tell through the gaps, appears to be a ball of white flame, a perfect sphere, surrounded by a green geometric lattice of magic. For all of you that I mentioned here, Ro, Nikos, Amaros, the streams of light moving through the patchiness of plant-like engulfment illuminate the figures that to each of you are not covered by this seemingly all-encompassing darkness, with some strain. Even those of you that have some form of night vision, you can make out the figures. Amaros, Nikos, and Ro, you guys can describe yourselves.
Anyone want to go first?
I guess I'll go first.
Oh, this did not repeat. Freaking creepy music should have been.
See,
Before you go first, let me. So, are they coming into the tavern, or are they outside the tavern?
No, they are on. They're in a piece of cardinal that is apparently infested by inky black trees and other plant life. That some of which is surrounding, from what Amaros can tell, but not the others, a perfect sphere of white flame. Though I have mentioned the den, they aren't. Yeah.
Okay, so alright, so they're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Yeah,
Okay, that's all I need.
Yeah.
I got a little confused. So.
don't worry, I think we're all confused right now with that setup.
Yeah.
Quite so.
Like, Ro appears to be an elf on the younger side, about 5'10", lean. Has a fair skin with long red hair with white streaks in it. Seems to be attired in some form of, judging from what you can see, probably some form of leather armor. He's wearing a red studded capelet with a large, swashbuckler type hat. And seems to be carrying on his hip a gunblade. Sitting on his shoulder is a small brown rabbit-like creature.
Who was the other one described, Amaros? Do you want to go next, or was that all, Tris?
That's it.
That's it for Tristan. Why don't you go first, Greg?
The
I'm going for the interchange right now.
I'd say the version on the right.
Okay. Standing 6'8" tall, not including the horns. He's an Aura of the Jala tribe. Black scale with attired in some sort of mercenary garb. Somewhat colorful, but not too flamboyant. with the insignia of captain. Seems to be heavily scarred on the face, but rather a calm expression on him. Carrying at this moment a revolver, a short sword, and a quarterstaff. The quarterstaff having some minor wounds carved into it. That's it.
Yep. Amaros?
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
One moment. I don't know who had night vision or not, but Armoros is a 5'9" who looks 5'9" person who seemingly looks like a human. Due to the darkness, there might be a slight shimmer in his hair. You can tell it is not a normal color, but more of a metallic color. In reality, it is platinum. In addition to that, he is wearing his he has a wall shield on his back with a long sword and a quiver of javelins. He's currently wearing a hooded cloak over his adamantine plate mail. You probably can't tell it's adamantine though because it's night and we're darkness.
Darkness.
But from what you can see, he has a somewhat tan complexion, and the way his posture suggests that even though he is martially trained, he is not. He's not on guard.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Alright, thank you. Basically said that Keegan's not there, so.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I don't think there is.
With the three of you definitely noticing one another from your various points along the periphery of this planty wall bramble. Again, these people with some concentration being well defined to you. You each wake up in your respective inns or places of sleep. The light of Idris's day filtering in through what windows or unoccluded openings are around you. This isn't the first time each of you has had this kind of dream of a dark force infesting at the very least sections of Cardinal. However, it is the first time in as many days as you have seen other people or unshadowed, seemingly pristine buildings in the in your sleep. With you guys having woke up, I will shift over to the Den of Sin.
Did somebody say Cinder?
Uh, it is day for Tomas and Kama respectively. You are, as you can see here, possibly unless you're in a car. The Den of Sin patrons abound. A few empty tables, but you can't expect to be jam packed all the time. The sounds of
Of course.
cards and other games of chance filtering in from the adjacent room. Servers going around serving the various people at tables. Fiona tending what people are at the bar. In the distance, there are the occasional horns of a ship or two, indicating their proximity to the land, and a signal to you that there'll likely be extra wary patrons coming in for some food, drink, and possibly more in the coming hours.
Alrighty.
Food, drink, more.
Good drink, whores.
No, not whore, more.
No. I'm pretty sure he meant whores. We use that as a friendly term.
Now, I would ask you for a perception roll, Tomas, but I take you're driving.
Yeah. Greg can roll that. Chop
Oh,
chop.
that's
Greg.
right. That's right. I don't get to roll shit. No one trusts me when I click roll 20. It's okay when other people do it.
Really? Because usually Roll20 loves you.
Every time it's rolled for me, it has not.
Yes, nasty.
Greg, don't do that, please.
Can we at least tell me what it is before we start laughing at the roll?
He hasn't rolled it yet.
Oh,
No,
okay.
but you
I was
said-
making sure.
It's what I said.
I just like to point out we can't see
Oh,
my
I
hit
didn't
points.
hear what you said.
Yes, nasty.
that.
Already, we are 50 miles out, and the fuel light has just come on. I have a 45-mile range left.
Okay, perception, you said?
Yep, perception.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Perception.
Nice.
Oh.
It's okay. I can still see it.
I was wondering why it sent it to the GM. I'm like, huh.
Because that's how the roll is set. There's a tab. There's a tab at the top for that.
Oh.
Yep.
Hmm. Okay.
Oh my.
Oh my. It was a good roll. Good roll.
What was the roll? I'm curious.
20.
Yep. 'Twas a 20.
That's actually a pretty good roll.
Dirty 20, yes.
I can't even remember what my perception modifier is, but I'm assuming that's a decent roll. Don't say it. But
Oh, too bad. I just said it already. You're a bad move.
I do declare.
Well, the absolute maximum your perception modifier could be is an 11, so.
Well, I do declare that it is such a thing.
I don't think my perception modifier is an 11, so we're good there.
You are catching from various talks and conversations around you. um, Words of, well, fear, though it's not mortal fear. Fear that another shop is going to close down, and some say Sector 2, others say Sector 3 of Cardinal. More just, patrons being concerned that other places they'd like to frequent may no longer be. Oh wow! Hi Sam. I did not place him on the board.
Yeah, I thought he was missing because I didn't think Sierra would. I didn't think Sierra would be in, going around without her giant fuck off lion.
Yeah, she probably needs a lion.
Fiona will give Sam a bowl of appropriate things for Sam. But yeah, patrons being concerned that places they frequent other than here won't be available much longer.
What types of places?
Well,
Any?
that is a good question, as you are rather familiar with the other places of business. The Donstar Jewels shop, which is a place that sells largely mundane jewelry, though there is rumor to some, fact to you, that they do have a bit of enchanted jewelry in back. They generally only mention it to patrons that look like they could afford it, so it's not openly sold unless you look rich.
I suddenly see a flaw in their business. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. That particular store has recently shut down. Rumor states that it's due to unforeseen damages. Like things like the water main bursting kind of thing. Though there are a few people that you can even hear here who don't really believe that because they find it a bit odd.
Yeah.
Another place that you're aware of is Saran's Saran's Delights, which is a restaurant that serves various noodly concoctions, mainly pastas. That has recently been closed down. There, on their particular shop, there's a basically sold sign on their business stating that the restaurant has been bought out. one that you're not immediately hearing about from the crowd, but one you're aware of due to their um, ultimate inability to pay some debts that they've incurred to you. Is Meat and Co. The owner of Meat and Co. Who still owes you about I need to double check your ledger, but 300 gil. Won't be able to pay that back due to the business being yeah bought out actually at a rather low price. You're not quite sure what that low price is. Perhaps it's not too low for them to actually pay your final installment, but it's claimed to not be.
Eric, you have a lot of background noise.
Should be taken care of now.
Thank you.
With that lovely 20, you will also hear a somewhat drunk Danos Stratelli mention.
Alright, I'm back.
I didn't realize you were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a phone call come in.
You stealthy. Anyway, Danos Sertelli mention a you think its name? It's slurred. It sounds like he said the steel air. Steel as in, you know, the material.
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you say it, so...
With a bit of a ear out and a keen memory, you will hear that the slurring has drastically distorted his words. Thinking about it again, he probably was referencing the sharp air versus the steel air. The sharp air is a arms shop.
There's also a book behind
They deal in an
You
assortment
can
of weapons.
You can use this.
Though drunk to a bit of a stupor, this person is. You could pick up the sound of concern in. Excuse me. The sound of concern in his voice. Stratelli, by the way, is this guy.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Oh, right. Sorry. Older human.
Put a pin in that one. I'm currently teetering right on the brink of having enough gas. I'm at 36 miles in the tank and 37 miles to go. I might go for it.
No. Stop it. Get
Okay.
gas, man.
So, drunk guy, talking about meat and co, and no, he's talking about Steel Air, which is a sword shop.
though you figure in his slurredness he was actually referring to Sharp Air, which is a weapon shop. You're right. Mainly blades of various kinds. Also, does the Den of Sin have a weapons policy?
Yes, it does have a weapons policy. You check them at the door.
Okay. In which case, the short sword in the image,
Yes.
he would not have on him.
My place of business does have a weapons policy.
Okay.
I have been informed by my bodyguard. They check them at the door.
I've been informed of such.
Okay, continue.
Kami, can I get a perception roll from you, please?
I am just setting up my laptop, so you're gonna have to bear with me.
Okay.
But if somebody can roll for me until then.
I could roll for you.
Yeah, my captain.
Let the GM.
I vote that David does it. Let's see what roll-20 decides to do for David today.
21.
Not at the moment, but it will be something that will get.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
You rolled a 21 in the casino. That should be an automatic crit success.
Your ears have picked up the same things that I've been mentioning to Thomas.
She did miss most of that.
Yeah, I was on the phone call with my boss.
Your boss needs to know we're not. I'm just kidding.
Basically, there's a lot of people going out of business, and most of them are getting bought up for obscenely low prices.
Oh, it's that time of season.
And it's got people working.
It's gonna have the bartender give me another shot. Actually, the bottle. I'm pulling straight from the bottle.
The bartender is my wife, by the way.
Okay. You now have a bottle of booze.
Okay. Yep, I'm just watching the Patreons. I'm not really wearing much clothes though.
You have a Patreon, Matt. Oh, thank you.
Bottle of booze. Does that go in the key item slot?
No, I said I'm watching the Patreons.
Patron.
No, not
Patreon.
I know the word, but I'm using Patreons. Like, subscribe. Donate your money to us. It's technically there. Just a second. I need to make sure this is working. I'm switching off the call because I'm trying to pull up my laptop because I will have business calls coming in. So.
Okay.
A second.
Okay. Oh, well.
I realized I left my bag of stuff at work.
Oh.
Make sure I put that in the car tomorrow. Anyway.
Yep. With your bodyguard momentarily in mark mode.
Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
yes.
Now she's back. That was quicker than I expected.
Shortest mark mode ever.
Well, if you guys want me to take a long one, I can.
No, you're good. You're good. We appreciate you. Yeah. So you're just kind of observing people at the moment?
Yeah, I don't trust bitches. So I gotta make sure they don't start no shit in my store. I'm sorry, in my boss's store. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. If your boss isn't making money, you're not getting paid. So.
Well, that says my boss's store. I'm watching.
So.
Making sure nobody's being bad. I may occasionally go around and just randomly hit somebody that looks at me wrong, but.
sound nice at all.
It's how I say, I love you. Salutation.